Hello, my name is Natalie Takavorian and I'm an English teacher at Moreno Valley Unified School District. I am a high school teacher and I will be starting my third year this August. And I wanted to reflect my own personal and professional pedagogies that have connected to some of the dispositions that we see listed at Grand Canyon University. Some that I believe we must adopt to be successful in our career. In this video, I will address dispositions I believe I am practicing and already possess, and some I know could use some room for growth. Because of course, as educators, we always have to be aware of that. Dispositions to start with, as identified and defined by Grand Canyon University, includes values, commitments, and professional ethics to our students, their parents and guardians, and the community. So when we're looking at dispositions, I believe the one that I am strongest in is my commitment to the profession itself of teaching and learning. We know as teachers that teaching is not for everyone. To be a teacher and to be a successful one and to love what we do, we have to create our passion, right? Or, sustain our passion and, have patience throughout the whole process, because it's not easy to teach, right? But it is easy when we connect with our students. Teachers at the end of the day are lifelong students. We love to learn. That's why I'm doing this master's program. It's a reflection of my desire to learn. And I think that's part of what a professional educator should look like, is one who is always willing to add more, not just for the namesake, but for the experience, for the understanding of the field. Another disposition I believe I possess is being sensitive to individual learning and social needs of our students. Oftentimes we hear students should be taught with the teachers being equal to our students. They need an equal education. But we know that we also need an equitable education. Our students need different things, and avoiding the mentality that our students are all the same is my personal priority always. I will treat my students with the same respect and care and attention that they deserve, but when they need more, I know that I have to step in, and I think that's a strength of mine. I treat my students with the same respect, but I accept their differences and acknowledge that they may need a little bit more from me, whether it be resources, whether it be, a reevaluation of a lesson plan, so on and so forth. Dispositions, and that actually falls right into one of the things I know that I need to work on, is I want my students to see themselves when we look at literature, and that's part of my strength when we're looking at individual learning. I want to give them literature, poetry that reflects who they are. Most of my students, including myself, people of color, we want to see ourselves in the work that we are doing. Often we see amazing authors that I have, fallen in love with myself, Thoreau, Emerson, but those are not always the authors that we can easily identify with. And so I want to give them that, and I do give them that. And that actually falls right into my next point, is even though I do my best for my students to be able to find themselves in the work that we study, one of the dispositions I believe I need to work on is promoting curiosity and inquiry. Often, as a new teacher, it's easy to feel like we got the job done when the assessment is completed successfully. It doesn't just stop there. I want my students to be curious. I want my students to feel confused or a kind of way about something that we're reading. And I want them to ask about that. I want them to want to learn, even if it means being a little frustrated sometimes. And often in my first year especially, getting the information out was my priority. Now my priority isn't just to get the information out so that they could do an assessment well. I want them to actually be invested. And that's something that I am slowly working on as well. Especially with my induction coach, when I just finished completing my induction, and that was one of my main focuses. I want them engaged, I want them to care, I want them to be invested. Another one is understanding the effect of community involvement. This last year, I'm starting to realize my kids are working, they're part of the local community, they're part of the local churches, and I want, to be a part of that as well, because I know that that's so important. And ways that I could be involved is keeping up with my students, seeing what they're doing, being a part of the community. Since I'm not a Moreno Valley native, I would like to be more acclimated into it and communicate even more with my parents, which are steps I'm taking, but I'd like to do more. And I think that's what a professional educator looks like: someone who cares, someone who's invested in the community, and someone who knows their students, who they are, what they can accomplish, and what I can give them so that they could grow as individuals. We go in every day with a smile on our face, ready to learn. We keep our cool. We keep our students accountable when we have to. We are consistent almost every day, and we are ready to reevaluate or reflect on ourselves when we don't have the best days, because not every day is going to be a perfect teaching day. Standards are being always reflective, right? And always remembering that we have to take care of ourselves so that we can further be as successful as we can in the classroom. Thank you.